Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds or Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Zakalia, and this video is about the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a mark chip. Alright, so here it is, another update regarding this prophecy. Alright, and it says Mastercard wants everyone to have a digital wallet and mDL to make ID-like payments. The mDL is the mobile driver's license, which is a digital ID. All right, and so this is relevant because this is the system coming into play. All right, you have the mark chip, which is already out there, right, both in the hand and in the forehead. You have the brain mark chip, and we know how this microchip operates. All right, when you Google biometric microchip, it says a biometric microchip. And so let's just take a look at what it is, because this is the mark of the beast. This right here, this microchip. All right, it is also called the RFID microchip, or you can just call it the microchip. It's all the same thing. All right, see even here, chip implants from Sweden, developers support digital health. All right, so that's just a bit of the article. But this is the microchip itself, all right? And the microchip, has all of this information that is stored on it for personal use, okay? So people store their, medical information on it, their financial information on it, everything on it, all right? That is the purpose, right? But let's read it. A biometric microchip refers to a microchip often implanted under the skin that stores biometric data for identification and authentication purposes. These chips typically use RFID or NFC technology to communicate with external readers. While commonly associated with biometric passports, the technology is also being explored for various other applications like access control, medical records, and even as a form of payment. Right, so this microchip has information that is put on it about you, okay? And there's a system that is being implemented to allow it to work on a global and mass scale, all right? Everything is going completely digital. They call it the fourth industrial revolution. They also call it the digital age, also the intelligence age. All of these are simply different names for what really is Esau Edom's New World Order, and Esau Edom is a so-called white man. They are the ones that are in rulership today. This is their kingdom, and they are identified as the wicked in the scriptures. All right, so it says microchip implants. These are small electronic devices, often, that are implanted under the skin via injection. Biometric data, the chips can store various biometric like fingerprints, iris scans, or other identifying information. And it uses RFID and NFC technology, okay? And then the common applications are for biometric passports. The most widespread use is in biometric passports, where the chip stores the passport holder's information and biometric data to verify their identity. So, once it's about your biometrics, that's unique. Esau Edom, they discovered at a certain point that everyone has a unique fingerprint, right? Access control. Microchips can be used for access control in workplaces, buildings, or other secure locations. Medical records, payment systems, individual identification and authentication. All right, so that's how it operates. And then you can see here how it is used. People are microchipped and they go to, a point of sales machine and they use a microchip to make payments. So they're doing away with the current monetary system and they're moving towards a digital payment system. And they're also implementing a digital identification system, where when you look at that digital identification system, you will see that the one that has been proposed by the World Economic Forum is intended to hold all of your information on it. All right, literally every single thing about your life on it. So, with the launch of these digital IDs across the world, every single country is developing it. It's about consolidating all of your information onto one place, and that is a stepping stone heading towards a microchip where they will simply just transfer that digital ID onto the microchip, and that's how people will be living life. Okay, that's their goal. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and he causeth all. So this is going to be the ruling class of the Edomites, those that are have the most power of the Edomites, which are the elite bankers, right? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it's intended to be for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, your social status, what condition you're in, nothing like that. Free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So to receive a mark, which is a microchip, in their right hand or in their foreheads. And the technology is out there. The microchip technology is out there, and it's up and running for both the hand and the forehead, right? The brain microchip is out there as well. So the technology is already out there, and it's being used for its intended purpose, right? People are literally microchipped from America to the UK to Europe, and they're going about their lives using the microchip for not only payments but for the other purposes of it, right? Like opening doors and stuff like that. Okay, but that digital ID that has been proposed by the World Economic Forum shows you exactly what their goals and intentions are, and it is that they envision for people to literally be microchipped, and when they go to the doctor, they're using their microchip, and all of their medical data and information will be stored on it. And that's why Trump recently, just last week, announced the whole digitalization of the medical industry, right? He's just moving forward the agenda. He's a puppet that is controlled by the wicked elite of Esau Edom. Okay, and also for government services that you'll have to be microchipped to have gain access to government services. The other day I did a video on it regarding the telecommunications aspect, where they're going to tie your SIM card to your microchip. All right, literally everything about life as you know it is going to be tied to that microchip, and you are going to be shut out from society unless you have this microchip when they make it mandatory. All right, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? So whether you're a merchant, right, a seller, or you're a buyer, you're going to have to be a part of the system. This is what it's the prophecy is telling us. All right, and then as I just mentioned, from what we can see, with what they're implementing, we can really see their goal, right? Where literally you're just going to be shut out from society unless you have the microchip. This is where it's heading towards. So with that being said, going back to this, Mastercard wants everyone to have a digital wallet and mobile driver's license to make ID-like payments. So this is simply just going along with the system. They state that they want everyone, all right, to basically go onto this new way of life, which is by way of digital payments. That's what the digital wallet is. And the digital wallet it's the same thing. It's storing, your information on it and connecting this with that, consolidating of one's information into one place. Okay, so online verification causes friction for customers more often than not. Yet identity theft makes up 40% of Europe's online fraud. Digital identity can work simply and deliver trust-like payment cards, however, says Mastercard, right? And digital identity and the internet go hand in hand as well. That's a part of it, because when you look at that digital ID proposed by the World Economic Forum, it includes e-commerce, and social media. So the world is heading towards no more having online anonymity. Access to the internet and access to social media is going to be by way of one's digital ID in the near future, right? So the EU Digital Identity Wallet is in part a recognition of this issue. According to a post by Mastercard EVP for Services Europe, Michel Centemero, who sees an opportunity for digital ID to work more like his company's forte, digital payments. All right, so European digital identity wallet, digital ID, digital payments. All right, all of this, just a system being put in, right, to facilitate the market chip. Mastercard supports the EU digital ID wallet program as an advisor to the EU's no-bid project and a partner in the WeBuild consortium. The payment giants work with the EU's large-scale pilots complements its work to integrate card-based payments into European digital ID wallets, right? So it's about the changing of the system, right? They're doing away with the current monetary system, which is by way of cash, and everything is going digital, right? This article actually reminded me of the Bank of America CEO a few years ago, actually back in 2019, when he said that he wanted a cashless society. All right, they're all a part of the agenda. And remember, it is the elite bankers, they own the banks, right? And this is Esau's kingdom. Job chapter 9 and verse 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. So it says one of the possible advantages of integration is building attribute checks such as for age or country or residence into payment transactions. The company is also working on related international standards such as those overseen by the FIDO Alliance and EMVCo. All right, Mastercard is also certified to the UK Digital Identity and Attributes Trust Framework, DIATF, as an orchestration service provider. So this article is showing that Europe and the UK are moving forward with the agenda of moving towards a digital society, right? And it's all about that market chip. That is the end game goal, all right? Because that's how it works, man. Okay, the market chip and everything is stored on it, and it's used for payments. So the entire system is going towards a digital payment system, and it will have your biometrics and your personal information on it. So they're implementing a digital identification system. Okay, it says through ongoing investments in biometric authentication, AI-powered fraud detection, and privacy by privacy solutions, we're helping build the confidence Europe needs to lead in the digital age. Centimero concludes, right? The digital age, which is just another word for the New World Order. All right. When you see them talking about this is what they're talking about. All right. mDLs are for everyone. So Mastercard is also working on mobile driver's licenses, mDLs, to go in those digital wallets. So they want the mDLs to go into those digital wallets, which is showing you that they're consolidating things together, right? When you look at these different articles that are coming out regarding the digitization of the systems at hand, you can see that they're also merging these systems together. Why? Because the market chip is going to be an all-for-one use. Okay, so all of these different systems and industries of part X, Y, and Z, whatever, it's all about bringing them together and merging them. And so the mobile driver's license, just to get it from here for the proof that it is a digital ID, a mobile driver's license, mDL, is a digital version of a physical driver's license stored on a phone, offering a secure and convenient way to verify identity. So it is a digital ID. And so in America, right, Esau is very sneaky with what he's doing. Okay, because in America they talk about, they're not about central bank digital currencies, right, which is the digital currency, but yet they introduce stablecoin, which is that same exact thing, right? Sneakily just signing in basically what is really the digital American dollar into law. That's what stablecoin is, right? It is just like a central bank digital currency. So with a digital ID, they don't blatantly state, they're implementing a digital ID system in America. Instead, they've been sneaking it in different ways. One of the ways is by way of the digital passports, where they're saying that it's going to become mandatory to travel, and you're going to need a digital passport, which is are part of the whole system, right? Because the digital ID proposed by the World Economic Forum, that digital ID includes your travel and mobility in it, which is your passports and whatever else that is used for travel, right? So then the next one are these mDLs, which I noticed, because I'm pretty sure the first time I read about an mDL, it was regarding in America, where they're talking about people, the drivers there, they're implementing a mDL system, and you have these, the drivers in America are getting onto the system, which is a digital ID. So it's being brought, the system is being brought into America, man. It's just not blatantly saying central bank digital currency and digital ID, but it is all the same thing. Okay. So, that's something that I have noticed. So it says Mastercard Director of Product and Services and Leonard Botezetu noted on a recent episode of Doc's Identity 3 podcast that he has joined the Mobile Driver's License Connections Working Group to contribute to enhancing the educational dimension of mDLs from a product design standpoint. And this is just, them implementing, the digital ID, okay, in this type of way, right? So they talk about that there. Let me see if there's anything else. That dude says being able to address those people along with the ones across the Atlantic holding credentials built to the same standard makes mobile driver's licenses the natural step to follow federated solutions and ID document checks. So when, reading between the lines, knowing what the prophecy is, knowing what is happening, he's just basically saying the next step is heading towards, this digital ID system, which that goes into it, man, because that digital ID stores everything about your life on it. All right. And actually, you know what? Let me get the image. Because, there may be new viewers, man. You never know. So this is the digital ID proposed by the World Economic Forum, and it shows you the consolidating of all of your life onto one thing, which is this digital ID, a stepping stone heading towards a microchip. They will simply just transfer it onto the microchip, and it shows you a digital ID is going to hold everything. Your healthcare, your financial services, your travel and mobility. There's the e-commerce and social platforms, which has to do with the internet. There's the telecommunications, e-government, government services, smart cities, right? Smart cities, 15-minute cities are, their idea of how, the cities are going to operate, which is going to be driven by artificial intelligence and technology completely. And, their vision is to have the world microchipped, and people are going to be going about in these 15-minute cities / smart cities, and they're going to be using their microchip for literally every single thing that they do, every single thing. All right, that is their goal. All right, so this is it, man. This is what is happening. Let me see. To solve the fragmentation problem, an international standard like the mDL ISO was needed. So from my point of view, standards drive harmonization, leading to a more kind of cohesive and accessible digital identity. See, he explains this is the high-level context in which a global company adopting an international standard like mDL ISO has a huge benefit, which is the digital ID. It's just all about the system coming in, man. All right, because the microchip technology is already there and available. Okay, and so we're heading into this time in Revelation chapter 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is the hour of piercing. When you break down, the Greek word here at G3986, right? It is a trial, right? But when you break it down as well, it is the hour of piercing, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, right? And this word try breaks down to the same thing, and I'll show it. It goes from the Greek word perazzo to the Greek word para, which says idea of piercing, you see? And then at G4008, it is paran, which says to pierce, right? And it is the hour of piercing because that's how they administer the microchip. They pierce the skin using the device, which that device is the Karax, okay, and they administer the microchip, which is the Karagma. Okay, those are the Greek words for it, right? So this is coming up, man, and you can see it. Things are moving quite quickly, all right? And then in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak." And the vision is referring to these prophecies. And as you can see, man, it is very clear what is going on, right? The microchip is already out there, and now they're implementing systems around the world to allow it to work on that global and mass and mandatory scale. Okay? But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And this is the end of the kingdom of the so-called white man. And our kingdom is next, right? As the scriptures say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? We are in that last part of the vision scene, received rather from Nebuchadnezzar, right? From Yahweh Shemishan, then interpreted by the prophet Daniel, right? The feet, iron mixed with miry clay. We're in that last part. So our kingdom is coming next. And this mark of the beast prophecy is not something to play around with, man. There is a reason why Yahweh Shemishai has his prophets so continuously warning, because there's a severe judgment for it. And that judgment is going to be death by way of thermonuclear fire, right? America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. But before it's destroyed, our Lord Yahushua is going to return, and he's going to deliver the elect from the four corners of the earth and a portion of our people from America. Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8 tells us the number, which is 1/3 of our people are going to be delivered from America and 2/3 are going to be destroyed. So salvation is only for the Israelites, but when Yahushua comes, he's only coming to deliver a portion of the Israelites, which is referred to as the elect of the nation of Israel. Everybody won't believe, man. No matter how many times they hear this, no matter how many times they're told that the mark of the beast is a microchip, they simply will not get it. And they will take the microchip and they will be destroyed. Revelation chapter 14 verse 9 says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast," right, which the word worship here is proskuneo, which is to kiss the hand towards one in reverence, which is to bend the knee, which is meaning like a dog licking his master's hand, which is what you will do when you accept that microchip, because you will look to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, as your salvation, because all kinds of things are going to be happening. Jacob's trouble is going to be upon us in those days. Famine, pestilence, chaotic times, right? And to get out of those chaotic times, as you will believe you'll be getting out of it, right? Many of our people are going to turn towards the so-called white man and accept his technology. But there's going to be a portion that will refuse it, and that's going to be the elect, right? And then the scriptures say, it says, when they shall peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come upon them, right? Because you will think that you're going to be back in a safe state of being, because now once with all the chaos, and then you're deceived into taking the microchip, right? And then you're allowed back into society and to live in society. You're going to think, oh, you're good and all these kinds of things, but Yahushua is only around the corner. Literally, this mark of the beast prophecy, once it is comes to pass, Yahushua is just around the corner, right? Once it is made mandatory worldwide, then can the salvation and the destruction come, but not until the mark of the beast prophecy is fulfilled, because of this same judgment that is written. All right, worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shemishai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahushua. Right, so this is going to be that judgment, man, okay, for taking the microchip. So don't take it. All right. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemakah Kodesh. Shalom.